Darlings, how you guys doing? Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Dipuo. I'm really sorry for those of you that have been waiting for a little while now. It's over a month that I haven't posted any videos. I really had to go into hermit mode. I'm still on hermit mode, but however, here's the weirdest thing. I got woken up 3:32 this morning. It was so weird. So weird. And instantly in a minute, I'm like, why is my sleep all gone? Because what woke me up is kind of like, when you're like in a dream state, you're not sure if you're dreaming or if this is a vision or if it's actually really happening until you snap out of it and you finally wake up. But it felt like I was reading the cards. So when I woke up, I was like, what's that? And what's this about? It's 3:32. God damn it, I'm going to work. Why do I have to be awake this time? But anyway, it so happens that in an instant I just thought, is it Virgo moon? Because I knew, from January, I've always just knew that when we hit out here in the southern hemisphere, when we hit Virgo season, the Virgo moon is gonna mess me up somehow. Yeah, for some reason I got woken up, and I wasn't surprised when I checked the planet placements. I realized that I actually went just straight for the moon table, monthly moon calendar, they call it, right? So I checked and I saw that, oh, the moon has finally hit Virgo season. It's the 16th over here. Alrighty, but anyway, so I got woken up to do a reading. Okay, and for a minute, I did sit and think about it. I did listen to some music. I meditated on this. I was like, what's happening? What's happening? What's happening? And it was like, hey, it's that time, right? When the moon is in Virgo, do bear in mind that it is looking directly at Pisces. And what about Pisces and the moon? Right? Okay, here we go again. I haven't burped. This is the thing. I haven't been burping like constantly as I'm about to. I do understand with these readings, all these things happen, okay? And the whole time, this is what I'm having. Water, right? Just like I do at work all day, most of the time. Water, coffee, even at home, water, coffee. And if I'm not doing any channeling, if I'm not giving out any spiritual messages, I don't burp a lot, but that happens when I do. So I'm saying this because some of you need to realize that about yourselves as well. Most of the time when you're burping, it's because maybe you're hitting something on the nail, you're not aware. Whatever you're conversing about, whatever it is that you've just said, or whatever it is that you're hearing, that could be something that is from the spiritual realm. That's a message from the angels, from God, from your guidance, your ancestors. Okay, that's the universe talking to you. So you need to understand that burping goes hand in hand with your throat chakra. It also goes hand in hand with spiritual messages. Throat chakra is like a portal that most spiritual people, let me take it the other way around. That most spiritual entities, okay, mostly positive ones, as we'd hope, but obviously the negative forces do also use the same mechanism, right? So your throat chakra is basically a portal for them to deliver messages, and you bring those messages out, right? It's going to sound like it's you, but it's not really you speaking. It's them speaking through your throat chakra, that portal, okay, that spiritual portal, right? So most of the time, that's why you're going to be burping, okay? I still don't understand the mechanism behind you burping. Maybe your gut system has something to do with that, all right? Just like the other day I was explaining, listen, this is a theory. I'm about to read the cards because this has something to do with most of you guys going through a calling. I wasn't waking up this time of the morning when I still have to prepare for work. I wasn't waking up this time of the morning on a Virgo moon during my Virgo season out here in the southern hemisphere for no reason, right? Something is behind this, and the only thing I could deduce is the fact that it has to do with people's calling, because Virgo is also like one of the main houses where your calling is very, very significant, right? And obviously with Pisces being right across Virgo, it does affect this house in such a way that it no longer just becomes about you attending to your calling. It mostly is directed at your spiritual calling, right? Because we are called to do many things besides spirituality. Spirituality is something we mostly incorporate in our callings, which some people call careers sometimes, all right? And this is why even if you choose the wrong career, baby, because you feel like this one pays more, you're still going to find yourself longing for another one, or not being satisfied or happy in that career, right? That's because it's not your calling. And sometimes some people's careers aren't really in the professional board. They aren't really recognized. They aren't really accredited, right? It's mostly those that has to do purely with spirituality. And it mostly affects those that are having those heavy placements in these two houses, which is Pisces and Virgo. Okay, your 6th house and your 12th house. Do you see that? 12th is the whole pie, right? 360 degrees. But then at 6, you're actually at 180. You're at number 9, if you may call it, which is like the last number when it comes to numerology, because after 9, then I keep hitting this bottle. After 9, then 0 starts all over again, and then it's 1 and 0, 1 and 1, 1 and 2, it all starts. So you could call it like 6 and 12, these two numbers, okay, they really represent a very big shift, a very big change in your life. And this is why with astrology, especially with sidereal, okay, or Vedic astrology, as we mostly call it, you may find that those houses are, associated with the Mula Trikona houses, which is like basically the kind of houses that base or structure the type of life that you're going to have. We all have a structured life, but it's different. Some people's careers are up high and their love lives are way down low, and their finances are just in the middle, while some people have their finances high, their love life in the middle, maybe their career is way down low. So things are just not, and those houses do play a very significant role in all of that is happening, right? So basically, here's the theory that I wanted to say. I've taken a whole 6 minutes. I don't want to make this longer than 20 minutes, all right? So I hope I can squeeze in some 7 minutes of the reading. The theory is that also with the thing of callings, right? Because some people, they get these attacks, okay? Most religions, okay, I'm just going to say religions, I'll summarize it, even though we know it's mostly with Christians, but also, other religions do find this to be a demonic thing, like when a person gets possessed by a spirit, right? This happens mostly everywhere, with black people, with white people, with Chinese people. There's no choosing nowadays, okay? This is something that happens to everybody, and when people get these things, people look at them funny, like you're evil or something. People don't understand these things, right? Now, that's not even the point that I want to get into, because that's a topic on another day where we have to explain why people have to get these trances, why some spirits take over them, right? At this point, I wanted to explain that for those of you that don't get those trances, those of you that don't get overtaken by spirit, don't think that you are not getting overtaken by spirit. It's just that your reaction is different, okay? Now, my theory, how I came about this, is I looked at, the whole chakra systems and how, it's basically your chakras that are going to allow spirits to enter into your body. It's basically your chakras that are going to, open up all the doors to the other realm for you and for the other spirits, okay, depending on the type of relationship and the type of chakras, because chakras are not the same, okay? They may have a same level of requirement to vibrate on, but not everybody's actually vibrating on that level. So the vibrations are different, okay? Some are low, some are high, okay? And as a result, that chakra itself can serve for good or for bad purposes, depending on what you allow. So I've noticed that with all of those systems, mechanisms, everything being explained in that way, this also now comes to help us to realize that, so it's very important to keep your chakras alive most of the time, being that when your chakras are most activated, high vibrating, alive all the time, these spirits are then with you most of the time. So whenever they need to speak through you, react through you or something, it's not going to catch you off guard. You're not going to go into a trance. You're not going to have fists. You're not going to, So I'm just saying, that's how I realized that most people who get caught up, people who get overtaken by spirits like that and they react, and I think it's because they haven't really, reached a balance within their chakras, because for some reason, these spirits still surprise them. They still catch them off guard. They still, catch them by surprise. So for those of you that are spiritual, you do, you connect, okay? You are a medium. There is an element of connection between you and the other side. You have become a messenger, all right? You have opened up your chakras. You do have a relationship with the divine. And for some reason, you do channel, but whenever you channel, you don't really get those, you don't go into trances like most people do, and then you start speaking in a different voice, or, you just go into fist, or just because that's not happening, it does not mean that you are not channeling. It does not mean that you're not connected. It just means we are different. We're vibrating different. We're different people, man. We have the same placements and different placements in so many ways. Someone who's a fellow Virgo, okay, could be a very different Virgo. They could be in the first decan, you're in the third decan, or you could find that okay, they're a Virgo, you're a Virgo, but their Venus is in Pisces, yours is in Aries, and both of you have very different interests when it comes to love or something, okay? So It's all of that. It's your career, it's your calling. It's basically you finding out who you are. Okay, you finding out what works for you. Okay, no one is really going to do that for you. I'm already seeing the 9 of swords on the bottom of the deck. Ooh. Okay, this is going to be a brief one, you guys. I'm really sorry. I have been gone a little while. Okay, I have been gone a little while, and at this point, I thought I will do a video. I did do a video, but I still couldn't post it. Something about me just leaving without saying goodbye. It had to be done like that. I'm really sorry. And at this point, as I said, I got woken up for a reason. I gotta do this reading for a reason. I take it. There's some messages for a few people, but I'm not really officially back. Okay.